Okay, let's take a quick look at the S&P 500 before the market resumed trading this morning here. And the going back to the to one of the blog posts that I put up last Sunday, right? This post here, and we were talking about some bearish signal that we're getting, that we should be sort of expecting a pullback. Right, we're talking about this particular, doji candle, and also this little price formation here, more of a like a, evening candle type of a pattern, and saying that if a pullback does come, then we probably see maybe a 1965 somewhere around here for support. If it can't hold that support, then we're expecting it to maybe come down and test this 1850 level for possible support, and also near the this 50-day moving average. Right? So we look at it as the week progressed, and yesterday it actually came down and broke through that 1965, and also came down and was testing that 1950 level. And when it was testing that 1950 level, I also put up this chart here. If we go back and take a look at it, right, this chart here, essentially saying that if it can't hold this particular level here, then we'd be looking at it probably come down and test this 1930. Okay, so as you can see, also in addition to that, also put out this intraday chart here, and we're talking about that while it's testing this 1945, and if it can't hold that level, essentially we're looking at this 1925 on the intraday basis. Right? Okay, so those are a couple chart and couple level to bear in mind. Okay, so if we go back and take a look at this daily chart here, you can see that it came down and actually sitting here somewhere around this 1930 level right here. Okay. Right. So that's the and here's the 1925. Right. Essentially, that's that low. Right. So now the question is, what if it break, and if it doesn't hold? Well, if it comes down to this 1925 and it doesn't get a bounce and possibly get back up to this trend line here, then the level that we expect to or the next level that we expect for the S&P 500 to test for support will be likely down here at somewhere around this 1900 level here. Okay, so at this pivot high, and that pivot high I believe is 1897. Okay, all right. So that's one level here. That's what we expect. Okay, now this is only one pivot level. And if we also take a look at these Fibonacci retracement, okay, let me take some of these lines out. If we take a Fibonacci retracement between that recent high to this particular low here, all right, so essentially it's this particular swing, okay, and we see that at the 50% point, we are sitting at somewhere around this 1903, right near this well, like the top of this candle here. Okay, so we got a confluence between this pivot high, this pivot closing high, and the intraday high on that pivot candle, and the 50% retracement of this particular Fibonacci retracement. Okay, then the other one is we can also take a look at the retracement using this particular pivot point here for the swing. Right, then you can see that again, we have a confluence here between 1895 at the 618, so it's pretty close to the bottom, the low of this particular candle. So essentially we got some confluence, we got two Fibonacci confluence into this one particular pivot point. Right, so in addition, I forgot to mention that if we also look at, let's go back to this Fibonacci retracement, and if we look at the 618, remember that 1925 level that we were talking about? Well, this 618 is 1923, so there could be a possibility that we might get a little bit of a support here and get a little bounce here. Okay, So, but if again, if we break that 1925, then we're essentially looking at somewhere around this 1897, 1903, 1902 area, somewhere in that 1900, right? Okay. So we essentially got, three conversions, toward that level, right? This pivot, two different Fibonacci retracement. Then also the other thing is we look at the symmetrical move. We're saying that if this particular move, the magnitude of this move is get duplicated here, where would that level be? So let's go and take a look at that. So if I do a little bit of a measure, right, okay, and bring it up here on this pivot. So you can see that on this retracement, to duplicate the same magnitude of that down move, essentially put it somewhere around this, 1908 or 1907 area, right? Okay, so it's pretty close to this again, to this pivot high, the intraday high. So it's in that vicinity of that 1900 area. So that makes it, this 1900 pivot point, this support level. Most likely, if the price come down to this level, we probably will see some supporting activity here, some price reaction to try to hold that level for support. Okay, so essentially that's what we are looking at right now on a short-term basis, right? Is that we're going to look at this 1925. If we get a bounce on 1925, we want to see can it get back above that 1960, 60, 65 area. Okay, essentially get back above this candle. The high of this candle. Okay, if we could recapture that, then this particular pullback would be maybe considered done, and we probably will try to test the previous high again. But if it break this trend line and break below this 1925, then we'll probably be looking at somewhere around this 1900. Now, even though that is a few hundred point, compared to this 1990, area, is essentially from 2000. Okay, that we're still talking about, somewhere around 5% pullback. Okay, and that's nothing. I mean, when people was talking about looking at 10 or 20%, comparing to this 5%, it's really not that big of a deal, right? Okay, so those are the level to keep an eye on in the coming day, because again, we have to pay attention to these signs, right? These divergence, right? These candle pattern, right? It's just the same thing here. You see this divergence here? So pay attention to the market for the bigger picture. So instead of, blindly go and chase, try to initiate new long position when we get a bounce here, is that take opportunity to scale out and reduce your size. Okay, so good luck on your trading.